Hello, you guys. Today I'm going to show you how to make my gluten-free triple layer coconut cream pie. If you're a coconut lover like I am and like my dad is, you will absolutely love this pie. Every year I know what I'm going to make him for his birthday. It will be this pie and he will not be sad about it. So let's get started and I'll show you how to make it. I start by making my gluten-free pie crust, and I'm going to breeze through this since I already have a video. In the bowl of a food processor, add flour and salt and pulse to combine. Add butter, cold cubed butter, and pulse several times until the butter is the size of large chunks. Pour the vinegar and beaten egg into the bowl and pulse to combine. With the food processor running, slowly add water through the chute, a few tablespoons at a time. You may not need the full amount of water depending on your climate. When the mixture comes together, stop mixing. Divide the dough between 2 sheets of plastic wrap. Chill in the refrigerator for about 20 to 30 minutes. Roll out the dough onto a lightly floured surface into approximately a 12 to 14 inch round, moving constantly to avoid sticking. If it does stick, lightly sprinkle with more flour. Roll the dough onto a rolling pin and carefully lift and unroll it into the pie plate. Press it into the pie plate, trim the edges, and crimp as desired. Follow the instructions on the recipe for how to blind bake and let cool. So now we're getting into the pastry cream side of this pie, and this pastry cream is going to be a part of 2 of the layers. So we start with some cornstarch and granulated sugar and just mix this to combine in the pot. Then we'll add the egg yolks, and we're going to whisk this until it's nice and smooth and thick. Never add the egg yolks too early into the sugar because the sugar will actually start cooking the egg yolks and you'll get little bits of egg yolk, like cooked egg yolk in your custard. And you want a nice and smooth custard. So we'll whisk this to combine right away. And then I'm going to do something that's a little controversial. And I'm going to add my liquids now instead of heating them up and tempering the egg yolks. And I find this works just fine as long as you don't need to steep something in your liquids, your cream or whatever you're using. In this case, I am using coconut milk because this is a coconut cream pie after all. So add all of your coconut milk into the egg mixture and go ahead and whisk that. And then we'll get this right onto the stove over a medium to medium-high heat, about medium, and you want to whisk constantly. Don't stop whisking because this will start thickening right before your eyes. If you walk away, it's going to thicken, and it's going to burn on the bottom, and you're going to be left with bits of like scrambled egg, sweetened scrambled egg, and nobody wants that. So just a slow whisk. This is all going to come together in about like 5 or 6 minutes or so. So just be patient and you will have the most delicious pastry cream ever. See, it's starting to thicken now. You can see the change in like texture and color even on the top. And as soon as it starts thickening like this, it's going to start, I call it burping because like large bubbles come up to the surface. And that's when you know it's thickening. You want to then continue to cook it for 1 minute. 1 minute longer. I even set a timer and sit there and just whisk away for that 1 minute. See that bubble there? There's your indication. So start your timer for 1 minute and just continuously whisk. I apologize here. My camera was off apparently and I didn't realize it. So what I did when I took it off the stove is I whisked in the 2 tablespoons of butter until smooth, and then I poured it through a sieve over the pie crust, half of it, and then the other half went into a bowl, just like this. And now I'm going to cover both of these and get them in the fridge for a good couple of hours. At least 2 hours, preferably like 4 hours would be great. So they get nice and chilled and firm. And make sure you put that plastic wrap directly on the surface of both of them because you don't want that skin to form. So now we'll toast our coconut, and to do this, I just put it in a 350 oven. This is unsweetened shredded coconut. I prefer unsweetened in this pie. It doesn't make the pie too sweet. And I get this on a baking sheet in a 350-degree oven for about 8 to 10 minutes or until it looks like this, nice and toasted. You may need to stir it a couple of times throughout just so the edges don't get browner than the middle. And now we'll get on with the whipped cream and coconut cream mixture. This is actually coconut cream, a can of coconut cream. I have a link for that below. If you can't find coconut cream, you can use chilled coconut milk and the solids from that can. And the rest of it is whipped cream. So it's like a half and half whipped cream and coconut cream. And I'm adding powdered sugar here. I'm just going to whisk this until it's nice and stiff. So now we've got our chilled custard. And we already have the one layer on the bottom of the pie crust. So now we'll just loosen this up by using a whisk. Don't worry about the lumps. It is not a lumpy pastry cream. This is just from being in the fridge and the butter solidifies, but it is nowhere near lumpy. It's nice and smooth and delicious. So now we'll add our toasted coconut, holding back like a tablespoon or two is all we need to hold back just for sprinkling on the top and for any decoration. I could eat toasted coconut like by the handfuls. It is so stinking good. So now I'm adding about a half a cup or so, you don't have to be precise, of the whipped cream mixture and stirring that in just to lighten it up. And then I'll go ahead and add another cup or so of it and then gently fold that in. And this keeps it nice and light. There is coconut in every bit except for the crust. There is coconut in every bit of this pie, and it is so, so good, you guys. So here we have the bottom layer. So we're going to put all of this on top of that layer. Get it all in there, all of that goodness. And then I take an offset spatula and just push it around until it's level. And then I like to go around the whole pie and get it nice and as smooth as I can at least. And then for the rest of the whipped cream mixture, you can either pipe it. I've piped it before with like a large star nozzle, or you can do what I'm doing here and just dollop it right on the top. And I like to leave a little border of the second layer showing so you can really see what it looks like underneath. And now for the reserved coconut, toasted coconut, just sprinkle it all over the top. And that's it. I like to put this in the fridge for a good 3 to 4 hours to get it nice and firm before cutting into it. And here it is, you guys, in all its glory. If you are a coconut lover, you've got to make this pie. It is incredible. It is all kinds of coconutty goodness. So just triple coconut creamy goodness. I hope you get a chance to make it, and I hope you enjoy it.